All right. Good morning. Good morning. Hopefully everyone's feeling well. Take a look at disclosure. Take a look at disclosure. We will get to it. Ah, look at that. Good morning, everyone. It is Monday. Happy Monday. It is Indigenous Something Day, or you can call it Christopher Columbus if you happen to be born in, the 1970s. We're still allowed to call it that. Anyway, my name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. Welcome to today's 6:30 Club, where we'll go over what we're kind of thinking for the week and where we're looking to focus on, make some money, and work on our process and keep moving forward. What is this? October 14th. We're already mid-October. I don't know if you guys saw, but the bull market turned 2 this weekend. Within that bull market, there were some pullbacks. There was a lot of great active sequences or a lot of ways to maneuver, make good money. Hopefully, your process lets you do so. If you have a 401k, that you put money in every month, congratulations. I'm sure those statements are looking pretty good. And if something happens over the next few years, make sure to stay the course. 529, whatever it is. Lots of ways to approach the market. The only way you're not going to make money is if you veer off your plan. This isn't going to end well as not a trading plan. Listening to people on TV who act like they know what they're doing, that don't do anything, that's not going to make you money. It's going to be you getting your own process, figuring out what makes you tick and how you can go about your day and your week and your life. It's different for everyone. So anyway, if you look here of what happened on a micro scale last week, pretty much in the last week and a half was pretty interesting, right? You had a hot jobs report that the market absorbed, a kind of lukewarm CPI and PPI that the market didn't fall apart on. The Fed has adjusted from market's been wrong all year. For 2 years. 2 years ago, they were talking about recession, and there's still some talking about a recession. But the narrative lately obviously has been the soft landing, the Goldilocks, resilient growth, normalization, and every week or every few weeks there's different things that make us money. If you remember, once we broke above this 56, 51 for on that, in September, I'm like, can we hold above it and digest above it? And we did. And while that happened, there were lots of things to do. And then all of a sudden, boom, we hit 58.22. I think the measured move we were talking about is 58.30. So pretty darn close. Bottom line is September 11th, if you remember here, I like to just sometimes review so you could see how you reacted and how you could react differently moving forward, because there's going to be a ton of new active sequences, a lot going on in the years ahead. So if you plan on being in this market, you better realize that patterns repeat themselves. And I remember on this day is when the market changed again for me. Here, we started in September. The bears, did a nice little bear surprise and messed with everybody that wound up thinking we were going to go higher after this V bottom. And then this is really when the new active sequence started. So anyway, went to 58.22. At this point, we're not really overbought, but you have to be a little careful. The SPYs, take a look here, working its way higher. Can't be so upset about the SPYs. Very similar to the S&P. I'm like, can we hold 565? That was prior resistance. This was the high we got through, and then we held it, and boom, we went as high as 580.33. So I do have a lot of positions on, and what I'm going to do this week, because sometimes after you go up 3-4 days in a row, I feel comfortable selling premium like 2 points above in the SPYs. And every time we rally, I trim some of my longs, sell some premium, and I'll do that every other day as a little bit of a mini hedge to manage my portfolio approach. If you look here, this is the alpha team. This is my crew. Okay. Everyone's already talking about, I guess, NVIDIA upgraded, crypto, via VST, whatever it is. Bottom line is those are my positions. I've been rotating through, trying to net money and stay with it, and and just moving forward. Some things really work, some things don't. Recently, I would say most of my crew have done very well in NVIDIA. First things first, we'll talk a little NVIDIA and the semis. The semis woke up. If you remember when Jensen came out and said that demand for the Blackwell was through the roof, and when he had that little 4 o'clock powwow with ACN, that was around here. Red Dog reversal, good entry. and then you've had a nice sequence since, above the 8-day buyable dips. I think I've rolled up options a bunch of times, and at this point, the VTF shows me in the stock, and I'm still in options. I rolled them into, which ones did I go with? The 137s. So for this week, the options we have on are the 137s, and I went from the 125 to 132 and a half to the 137s, and it's worked really well. And we'll see, how when do we take out this 140.76, which is the prior high? Anyway, the SMHs have been working its way higher, haven't leading. The S&Ps at highs, and the SMHs are, kind of woke up right here above 244 and working its way higher. So it's not like the semis have been having a blockbuster move where it was the same type of move we had, going into July, but there's been things to do there. Some people like, what do I think is going to be the next real money making area? I'm not a Bitcoin, major guy, or a crypto guy, but to me, this IBIT, which has really been in this range since March, going sideways. I've tried to time Bitcoin a bunch. Part of the asset allocation. I'm like, guys, you could buy Bitcoin every single month, and same way you buy gold every single month. That's you could be 10% of your portfolio, whatever it is. I'm like, or you could trade it for a living. And at this point, it feels like Friday really woke up this move. Like I'm really long the IBIT. I added to it. You look at this daily chart of IBIT, and then you can even go, actually, let's just go to Bitcoin itself. You look at the daily, it really looks like, I think when this goes, I feel like it's going to be like the China move where, China kind of been doing nothing for a while, then it just friggin' took off. I have a feeling that this Bitcoin that's been in this range, okay, if you look at it and you see it, at some point it's going to take out this 70 area, and everyone that's been talking about 100,000, 150,000, probably gets there, but I think it's going to happen pretty fast. It's not going to let you in. So either you have to be in, or and then you look at the weekly chart. I've done this weekly chart so many times. Look like it's really looking like it's kind of ready to rumble. And if you're gonna, look at a leading indicator, Mister has been absolutely insane. Mister is the company with Saylor, who loves Bitcoin, and he said, I'm not going to do anything in business. I'm just going to buy Bitcoin with all the money that I raise. And this is already at highs. So you know why? Because there's a big short interest there. So anyway, if you're in Mister and you're making money there, congratulations. I am not in Mister. I've had as much of a chance as everybody else. If you're not in it, Bitcoin is only, coming out of the range a little bit. Just don't be shorting this thing. But wow. We did really well, though, I got to say. The CORZ, again, we say, you don't have to kiss all the babies, but the bottom line is this thing has been awesome. I started buying this in here right around 1040, and it's been, I've sold some, bought some, I have options on, and, nice clean breakout. I've, went over this with the 630 club. It's a power play. Really, it's great when something, kind of works out. And this has been great. Can't be upset about this. I did buy some Mara calls. I've said that this is the best miner because it has an AI feature to it, whatever. But I said I wouldn't buy Mara, but I bought it on Friday. I'm like, you know what? If it's going to be a Bitcoin weekend, and if all of a sudden Bitcoin's going to really go, there's a chance that why can't, Mara get back to, 1880 even, so I just felt like it was a low risk reward. I didn't buy this, the actual stock. What did I buy on Friday? I bought Mara calls, which are right here, the 1650s, and I might even be able to add to them. But so between Mara, IBIT, and CORZ, that's some of my Bitcoin focus. I also have Square, which really isn't, like a Bitcoin. Obviously, it just feels like Square psychologically likes to go when crypto goes, and I feel like this still has a lot of room. I was buying Square around 66.90 on some options, and it's 71. It does feel like, why can't this thing pull a PayPal type move with the crypto component and this and that? So anyway, with that being said, I think Square. So that's kind of the focus there. As far as like mega cap tech, it's not leading the way, but there are things to do. Meta is definitely the best. And I think Meta was upgraded by Goldman today. You have another nice bull flag here. I'm not in Meta. even though it's been best in breed. This, seems like if we can get above 602.95, it can continue. I kind of think Google plays some catch up. I haven't been in Google in a while, and I just started to really look at it again. To me, this looks like it has like a inverted head and shoulders pattern with the left shoulder of the head. If it were to clear this spot, there's a lot of room here. So I bought some options in Google. Am I in the stock? Yes, I'm in a little stock. Microsoft also has been really out of play, getting a little tight in here. So I'm not in Microsoft stock, but I'm in some options. You had this low. Remember, we were here at 6:30 club. Oh my God, Microsoft! Oh, Mike, it was downgraded. I'm like, downgraded now? Anyway, reclaim that 409. Now you have a nice little inside range. But again, it's not where the action truly is. And even Apple, Apple is a little better technically. It's a little closer to highs. There's still a lot of debate about the iPhone and the demand. So I'm like, you know what? I'll stay with Apple as long as it holds above 227. Stay engaged, and if you can get above 229.75, maybe it'll be better. As far as Tesla, big gap down. Funny thing is I was with a lot of guys in my town. I live in Short Hills, and there are a lot of Teslas. There's a bunch of Cybertrucks, and anyone who watched was like, "Why did Tesla get so beat up?" Smart as they all are, I'm like, well, people wanted some detail, and Elon likes to promise, and it just takes time for him to deliver, and he usually delivers. So every one of them was like, "What should I do? Should I buy it?" I'm like, "You don't trade for a living. You could probably buy, this Tesla, somewhere in here, and in time, you're going to do really well, And so you guys don't care. You don't trade like I do. You're not a prop trader. You don't get paid monthly and quarterly. You guys are lawyers, you're doctors, you own your businesses, your family has a ton of money. Like, if you want to buy it for your kids, buy it for your kids." I'm like, but if you're trading it, you know what? Where did it get to? 223. We'll see if there's a gap to get filled here. If they fill this gap so fast, that would probably repair the stock and make it a little bit better. Right now, Tesla itself is up 3. I actually made a little bit of money buying it. I bought the 200-day, and I do think that I'm going to watch it, and maybe it fills this gap, and then everyone kind of forgets and moves forward from it. For Chase, in his Robinhood account, he has Apple, and I think half of it's in cash. I'm going to put the other half in Tesla. So I don't think he can go wrong owning, Tesla and Apple. He's a sophomore in high school, but anyway. And we have a 529 for him. So we'll see if you could be long versus, and maybe there's a trade into that gap, for cash flow. What else is going on that we could chat about here? Yeah, you know what? Some guys like Redler. What about the IWM? IWM has not been a great place to be. It's been very, very choppy, but ultimately it did wake up on Friday, so there is a chance that IWM can get better. The XBI, I kind of think low risk here. I'm in a big call spread for December. I added to it. Actually, I added to it before on Wednesday, which was a nice add. And it does seem like it ignited and maybe has some room to the upside here. But we'll see kind of how that evolves and goes. Oh, I didn't even say hello to all my dogs this morning. Wow, there we go. Let me say hello. What time is it right now? It's 6:45. This is the Kaleidoscope. So we got Mike Dominic says Apple's preparing for launch. Okay. Yo, Red Dog, what about VKTX, CYTKs? Looks like you're actually focusing on bios. I do have the XBI on. CVNA, I haven't been trading CVNA. Some guys are definitely, love that. Let me see what that looks like here. Wow. Yeah. This has just been going and going. Congratulations. I am not in this, and it looks like it's been a strong trend, and congratulations. Better than Microsoft and Google right now. Carvana, who would have thunk it? Hack, yes, there's been a lot of really good action in cybersecurity. It's been moving higher. Yes, Mister's been, we went over Mister already. What up, Scotty Gids? Oxy. I did buy Oxy, down here, okay, because I didn't have really much exposure to the XLE. And then I sold into, that was actually a target. I never bought more back. So I have like a third of my position. It happened fast. I did December. As I said, all right, so if you want to be long versus low here, 53, 56-ish, That's fine. It's not really a great spot. I feel like, better has been like this, GEV. Not they're obviously different, like the grid plays. I got in here, um, pretty late, but I am thinking, and there are a lot of people talking how this is be multiple years. You could be buying the dips here. Um, there was another one that we bought the dip on Friday. What the hell was the symbol of that? All right, we'll get back to that. Uh, what up? What up, Tony? AMD. AMD's a pain in the ass. Excuse my French. Uh, they sold down. It sold down on their AI special event day, which the computers lately are just programmed to sell events, sell event, sell event, sell event. You buy anything the day after the event, usually you do well. Apple events, this events, that events. But at this point, you know, AMD doesn't look so awesome. But I guess you now have the post-event low to trade against, which is right here. Um, so it's probably fine. What am I in? I'm in MU and I'm in Nvidia. So why do I'm in? I think MU, had that big gap up after earnings. The market wasn't in a good mood, and then MU kind of took out this area. I think it has room. So those are the two that I'm in. ARM looks ready. ARM looks pretty good. Yeah, ARM. I remember I had it right here. I said if you can get above 145, you probably could add to it. It could work its way towards 152 to 155, which is true. So ARM, yeah, there's Todd. So VST, well, that was the other one. Yeah, actually, this was awesome. It pulled back. I had a bid in at 115, and I told everyone, I'm like, this is your spot. And, it hit a nice little low there. Now, I think somebody said it's upgraded today. So if you bought it on Friday, look at that. You're getting paid really nicely at 129. Look how easy, right into the moving averages. So preparation helps. Uber, wow. Let's talk about Dash, first of all. Holy cow. I got to give it to my boys who are probably watching this. RB and Sklar, those guys have been begging me to buy Dash, begging, starting at August 5th. And I was like, they'll do DoorDash. My son orders it over the summer, nothing great. But anyway, I started looking at it in here. I bought a lot, and then I've been in it, and I've been in options, and you could still see that I'm in the stock. I'm in options. It's been a power play. What a move. And then I showed you guys on the weekly chart where it can go. Here is Dash Weekly. Look at it. It could see 175 later this year. And that was, I think I put this chart out here. That's this area when it was over here. So hopefully, I know the Alpha team's making a lot of money in Dash. I did really well, and those guys absolutely killed it. It's good to have conviction. You have conviction, you get some size, and boom, you get to know something very well. You could have your go-to list, but if you're too spread out and you don't have size in your conviction names, you're never going to really make a lot of money. And this was great. And yeah, Palantir. Some of you guys, I've just unfortunately I don't trade Palantir enough, and I had a lot of it, going into that S&P edition, and then I just got away from it, and it's been a great name. Goes to show you that there are names that could make you a lot of money. There are names investment-wise that could change your life, and then there are names that are just trades. But anyway, there's lots of different ways to do it. So you just got to figure out which way you're going to do it and work your friggin' tail off, to make sure you're mentally capable to execute when it's ready to go. And one of those things are just say like crypto. If you've been trying to play a breakout in crypto and some momentum move, you're probably tired. You're upset. I was upset last week. I was like, oh my God, this IBIT, what a pain in the butt. I sold a lot into here. I started buying it back. And then finally, I'm like, you know what? This looks really good. And I bought more instead of selling on Friday, and I added to it on the close. And now, this is up a nice dollar and change. The CORZ is now at 1360. We started at 10. This was a nice high conviction play. And at this point in my head, I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, how much of this do I need to really stay in no matter what happens? And, because sometimes when winners go, you trim it, and then all of a sudden you have very small, and then it continues. You're like, wow, I wish I would just have my core position on. I've been waiting so long. So think about how much exposure you want to have in crypto, just in case. I'm not saying it will, just in case in the next 4 weeks, you get a move to the top, to the top end of this range back up to here. So you don't want to all of a sudden have nothing on. And then if it takes out this range, that's what, if you were playing for that here, just make sure you're not worn out here and you make money on all the other things that come along with it. Feels like it's going to happen and it's on its way. So that's something to make sure you have exposure to. All right, guys, it is 6:51. Yes, happy Columbus Day. Did I say that? Am I allowed to say it? Oh, UPST. I did buy UPST on Friday. It's not like a high conviction play. One of my friends like, hey, look at the chart. It looks pretty good. It's got a lot of short interest. So we bought it here and had a nice move, and I'm in some options. So this is something different. It's not like my play. It was just brought to me. I looked at the chart. I went with it, used my instincts, and we made a lot of money on Friday, and I still have a little bit on. Again, in your high conviction plays that you know really well, you better have some size. And then on things like this, I just get thrown in the mix. You can make a little bit of money with. All right, so you make a little bit of money, let it add up, and high conviction, you crush. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll be here all week. So 6:30 clubs will be here. I'm going to do my 30, 40 charts. I'm going to listen to some music, and hopefully this will be a great week. Good luck, and may the force be with you. I don't know why I just said that, but I was I was kind of a Star Wars fan, but I stopped watching Star Wars after Return of the Jedi. I haven't seen all the new ones. There's like 1,000 of them. Same way there's like 1,000 friggin' Spider-Man and 1,000 of all this. Can we get some new ideas out there? All right, later, guys.